Good day. We've moved from alkanes to now to alkenes. This is the alkenes PowerPoint. And I think you're going to find it fairly straightforward. Alkenes and alkynes are unsaturated. Alkenes have one carbon-carbon double bond. Now, sometimes in worksheets you might run into something that says a diene, or you might see it in textbook. That just means you have two carbon-carbon double bonds. But I will never give you a diene on a test, unless I'm in a bad mood. From our last chapter, we should remember around a carbon-carbon double bond, we're going to get a trigonal planar shape. Flat and trigonal, AX3. So we look at this one and we say, hey, this is pretty nice. In fact, this is the simplest alkene you can hit. And this has to be ethene. There's no such thing as methane because we need to have a carbon-carbon double bond. And methane would only, well, no such thing, but meth only has one carbon, so you can't get that double bond. We don't have to put the location in this case because it can only be between those two carbons. It's the only place it could have been. So that's why here on the next slide it says indicate the location of the carbon-carbon double bond only when necessary. But what we love about alkenes and later alkynes is the double bond takes priority in counting the chain. We don't have to spend a long time, oh boy, looking at all the branches. We just say, hey, what gives the carbon-carbon double bond the lowest address? So, you see an awful diagram here. This is much better. So we say, hey, and I expect to see this. Find the longest sausage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we know 4 is bute, and we know it's an alkene, so it's butene. But this time we have to give a location. If the double bond was here, it would have been 1 butene between first and second. If it was here, it wouldn't be 3 butene, it would be 1 butene as well, because it would have been between the first and second. But because it's between the second and third, we call it 2 butene. So you look at the two carbons, their locations involved in double bond, 2 and a 3, and you put the lower number for the address. That's it for 2 butene. Let's try another. So find the longest sausage. We're only interested in the carbons. And we say, beautiful. And we say, boy, this looks like the last one. 1, 2, and these are just addresses, locations in the carbon chain. So this is a butene as well, but in this case it's between the first and second. The double bond's between first and second, so this is 1 butene. That's it. Hopefully that seems pretty easy. Next one, boy, that looks like fun. This is messy until we remember what Josh and Jason would yell. Find the longest sausage. And we got to go here, and then we got to head up here, and we got to come around, and we have that incredibly strange sausage there. Once we do that, it makes the branches very obvious. They just pop out at us. There we are. So main chain, 2 branches. Now I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully your numbers look better than this. 5. And remember, these are just locations. We're identifying the carbons. So we know we have 8 carbons. 8 is octene. We put that together, so we know it's octene. We can count from this end, but it's way better to count from this end. So we know it's going to be a 2 octene. So we put 2 octene on the right. Then we see we have a 3 bromo here, and we have a 5 ethyl there. We put it all together, and we end up with 3-bromo-5-ethyl-2-octene. And the scary thing for you is things are either right or wrong. You make a mistake in terms of dashes, commas, spelling, anything. I just mark it wrong because it just takes so long to mark. But you're going to get so wonderful at this, it's going to be a piece of cake. So hopefully you can see where that name came from. I think that's it for this wild PowerPoint.